have this important announcement to make. See whether you all understand it. Okay. What is the title of this course? This is the pre-calculus course. Okay. Pre-calculus course. I'll start with very basic algebra and end the course with the concept of limits. Limits is a new thing. That is why it's called pre-calculus. Calculus can be thought of as the study of limits. Limits is a concept that you have not seen in your O-level mathematics. It's done for A-level mathematics as well as combined mathematics. There are two subjects there. Subject number 7 is called mathematics. Subject number 10, combined mathematics. So my announcement is this. If you have done mathematics or combined mathematics, okay, people usually refer to combined mathematics as mathematics, but they are two different subjects. If you have done either combined mathematics or mathematics for your A-levels, okay, especially this is especially true for students in the IT program. All possible subject combinations are there. But if you have done mathematics or combined mathematics as a subject for A-level, you need not register for this course. This course is for students. Listen now, don't leave just yet if you are one such student. I have to explain this well. Because later you might think, I should have gone, or maybe you might say, okay, it was a waste of time, who knows. Yes, but I do not consider it as a waste of time, regardless of the level at which we operate. Because in Sri Lanka, mathematics is taught in a very different way in schools, from primary school onwards. Mathematics is taught just to follow. Mathematics is taught as a bunch of procedural rules. Procedural understanding is what is stressed, but it is the conceptual understanding that is much more important and enjoyable in mathematics. So both are important. But conceptual understanding is the better part of doing mathematics, okay, learning mathematics. So my statement was that if you have done either combined mathematics or mathematics for A-levels, then you don't need to register for this course. You have two other STEM subjects, the biology 1 and chemistry 1. Those are the IC, institutional core requirements, and there are two others, physics 1 and mathematics 1. This course is for students who have not done combined mathematics or mathematics for A-level, and this course is a prerequisite for the institutional core module mathematics 1. You are the first group of students under this new revised institutional core requirements. We have revised all 4 STEM subjects, meaning physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics. So you are the first group doing it under this new structure. I'm sure you will enjoy doing it compared to what it was before. So now those students who have done combined mathematics or mathematics for A-level, they need not register for this course. But if you want, see, you have done it in your mother tongue, you would like to brush up your English a little bit with technical terms in mathematics, which would help you in the next course, where all the courses here are done in English. So you may attend the lectures. There is no harm, but that is all up to you. Okay, for those students, there is no attendance requirement or anything. But if you are not a student who has done combined mathematics or mathematics for advanced level, GC advanced level, you must take this course, register for this course, and in the end must at least have a C grade, C or above. Okay, C plus, B minus, B plus, A minus, A plus. Let us aim for A plus. Okay, this is for the students without that A-level math background. So otherwise, A-level students who have done A-level math might think, "Yo, what is this? We are also put into this course. This is a requirement for IC course also. We are now operating on institutional core and program specific course structure." You don't understand those words, that's okay. But I said, ඔයාලට තේරෙනවද මම කියපු එක? ඕගොල්ලෝ combined mathematics hari ඒ කියන subjects දෙකෙන් එකක් හරි කරලා තියෙනවා නම් GCE A level වලට මේ course එක ඕගොල්ලන්ට මේ register වෙන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ, එන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. මේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට එතකොට අර බයොලොජි 1 කෙමිස්ට්‍රි 1 තමයි මේ සෙමෙස්ටර් එකේ ඒ සයන්ස් පැත්තෙන් එන මේ ඉන්ස්ටිටියුෂනල් කෝර් රික්වයර්මන්ට් එකට තියෙන්නේ. හරි? දැන් ඉන්ජිනියරින් කරන ළමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර ෆිසික්ස් 1 මැතමැටික්ස් 1. මේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මැතමැටික්ස් 1 වලට යන්න බෑ මොකද මේ කෝස් එකේ ඉන්න කොටසකට මේ A level maths background එක නැති නිසා. ඒක නිසා මේක කරන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට අර ලෙවල් එකට යන්න උදව්වක් හැටියට තමයි. නමුත් මේකේ grade එක ඒ ළමයින්ට transcript එකේ වැටෙනවා. The grade you earn for this course will be on the transcript. Therefore, it's nice to have a A for pre-calculus and then you go to mathematics 1. This ඔයගලන්ට තේරෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වට මේකේ credits ගන්න මේක ගන්නෙ නැහැ මේ GPA computation එකට. When you came the other day, I talked about little bit about GPA, GPA computation. This grade earned for this course will not be taken, but for students who haven't done A level වලට combined maths හරි කළා නැත්නම් මේකට C grade එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ අඩු තරමින්. C or above තියෙන්න ඕනේ අර mathematics 1 කියන course එකට යන්න ඊළඟ semester එකේ to go to mathematics 1 course next semester. ඉතින් මේ A level maths කරපු ළමයි ඔයාලට කැමති නම් ඉන්න because you have done it in your mother tongue. If you want to get to these technical terms, get to know the technical terms in English, you may attend. No attendance requirement for you, okay? But for the other students, the university requirement is 80% attendance, but I would like all of them, students who have not done A-level maths or combined maths, to attend 100% of lectures, okay? And make use of the lecture notes uploaded, make use of the interactive sessions, and try to brush up your basic mathematical skills, which are required for the rest of the course, not only for mathematics or physics, but not only for sciences, but for other areas as well. Okay? හරි මම කියපු ටික තේරෙනවද මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද ඔයගලන්ට? Ask it in any language. හරි ඔයගොල්ලෝ මට පොඩි කවුන්ට් එකක් දෙනවද just to get an idea about the composition of the students in this class, in this yes, you can put it in the chat. If you have done A-level mathematics or combined mathematics, just put a Y in the chat. Put a Y in the chat if you have done mathematics or combined mathematics for A-level. 4 students. Yeah. Is it only 4? Okay. I think it's only 4. So the others, so for you, you don't need to worry about doing this course for a grade or anything. You don't have to register even. And this is for the other students to get to the level that is required to follow Mathematics 1 course, which is institutional core module. ඒක ලොකු එකක්. ඒවා තියෙන්න ඕනේ ඒවා. මොන program එකේ වුණත් institutional core modules ටික හැමෝම කරන්න ඕනේ කියන එක තමයි SLTC vision එකේ තියෙන්නේ. කලින් institutional core requirement was difficult to achieve. එහෙම එකක් තිබ්බා. ඉතින් ඕගොල්ලෝ තමයි පළවෙනි කාණ්ඩේ මේ revised there was expert panel for each of the 4 subjects, mathematics, I represented, and then biology, chemistry, physics. 4 of us got together and worked on it for a long while and came up with this new proposal. Okay? එහෙනම් අපි පටන් ගමුද? ඕගොල්ලෝ මගෙත් එක්ක interact කරන්න. It would make it more interesting for me also. නැත්තම් හරියට මම කියන කනත්තක උගන්වනවා වගේනේ, like teaching in a cemetery for dead bodies. ඉතින් එහෙම කරලා වැඩක් නෑ. So okay, these 4 students, thank you for answering for the chat, and you understood what I said. ඔයාලා මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් මම කියපු එකේ ඒ ළමයි 4 දෙනාට I'm saying some things in Sinhala, but if there are Tamil speaking students needing more help with something I say in Sinhala, and just give me a call or come and see me. Best is to give me a call and come and see me. My WhatsApp number and phone number is 071-850-1625. Okay, so I note this down. You can message me anytime regarding issues connected with the course, or if you want to know something about the program also. Right. So let us start. I know you all attended the first lecture. I really wanted to do it, but unfortunately I had other institutional commitments which prevented me from doing it that day. We are going to share from time to time. Ms. Chanika will also take. We both are co-module owners for this course. Okay, I talked a lot, nah? For about 13 minutes, but it's important to get everything clear before we start. So I'm using this mode. This is the app I'm using, DroidCam. So it's like it's next best thing to physical teaching. See, if you want to ask any question, you can put it in the chat or just unmute and ask me. It's the personal tutor type thing for everyone. If we have a class where there are 200 students, no, not all of them would get individual attention, but here you all are. So it's like I'm just tutoring you personally, one-on-one. So that's the beauty of the this app that I'm using. Okay, so now let us get to subject matter. So I will start recording. Students, I usually forget to record, you know. Now, up to now, we didn't start mathematics. So I'm going to start recording now. If I forget in a day, please remind me. Ayyo, patangan diselam. Wait. Yes. Batteries. Yes. Did I? Let me check whether. Yes, I want to.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Good evening to all of you. Let us start. The first section of the chapter was done last time. Now, today, we shall do the second half. I will just show you the note. This was uploaded this was uploaded. So what I want you to do in the future is to read it before you come to the class. Okay, I'm not going to just read what is there on the screen, but just to get things started. This is the first topic that we are going to cover: algebraic expressions. Algebraic. What is algebra? Before O level, or maybe grade 8 or so. Before that, you worked only with numbers. The algebra, it says one of the characteristics of algebra is the use of letters to represent numbers. මේ අපි ඉංග්‍රීසි අකුරු පාවිච්චි කරනවා මොනවටද? මේ සංඛ්‍යා numbers නිරූපණය කරන්න, represent numbers. I'm just saying a phrase or two in Sinhala just to get everybody understand. After that it will not be done. Letters are called variables. Now you see there is 5x there in the example list, 5x. So that is an algebraic expression because x is there. What is x? X represents a real number, any real number. If I say 5 times 5, that is just a fixed number. 5 times 5. 5 multiplied by 5. It's just a number. But when you say 5x, it is 5 multiplied by x, true, but x is representing any real number. Okay, what is the use of this? The biggest hurdle going from non-algebra to algebra. Up to doing algebra, you worked only with numbers. Now you have to work with these type of variable letters also. But these letters are just a symbol. Letters are symbols representing real numbers. So there are four algebraic expressions there. So algebraic expression, I don't want to read it. Algebraic expression is just an expression. Expression kya මොකක්ද? What is an expression? ප්‍රකාශනයක් කියන එක. It is something. එහෙම හිතන්නකෝ. Algebraic expression is something that involves letters and numbers also. Letters are symbols that we use to represent numbers. Or number. It could be any number, any real number. So I'm not going to read. So this is letters like, so let me now go to the app also. And so for example, if I take x squared plus 3x minus 2, this is an example of an algebraic expression. You might say, "Ayyo, අපි මේක දන්නවනේ." Oh, yes. But in mathematics, you need to understand the definitions of things. දේවල් වල අර්ථ දැක්වීම හොඳට දැනගන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මේක පෙන්නලා algebraic expression එකක්. දැන් මේක කිව්වොත් එහෙම 2 times 7 plus 5 root 2 minus 8. Is this an algebraic expression? This is not an algebraic expression because there are no variable letters in it. This is just a number. True, square root 2 is there, but it is not a algebra. This is an algebraic expression because see, x is there. What is x? X represents any real number. So take this algebraic expression. Now I said x is any real number. Try to find the value of this for find the value කියන එකට ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කියන්නේ evaluate this expression. Evaluate this expression. මේ ඉංග්‍රීසි මෙතන වෙන්නේ expression. Evaluate this expression for x equals 1. Do you understand that what I said in English? Evaluate, meaning find the value of this. When? For x equals 1. x x සමාන 1 සඳහා මෙම ප්‍රකාශනයේ අගයන්න කියන්නේ තියෙන්නේ. in Tamil, yes, my Tamil is nowhere near, yeah, the Tamil that is required to explain or even say this in Tamil. But Tamil speaking students, do not think that you are being neglected. Okay, I'm really conscious about those students, because if I say something in Sinhala, I must say that in Tamil also. Since my Tamil is not good enough, I usually say the same thing in English again. But if you have trouble, need more help, here is the thing. You just contact me. Evaluate this expression, meaning find the value of this expression for x equals 1. So, except for English, there is nothing mathematically. So, what is it? It is equal to, it is equal to what? It is equal to, you put x equals 1. Where you see x, put 1. So 1 squared plus 3 times x is 3 times 1 minus 2. It is equal to this, which is equal to 1 squared is 1 times 1. 1, 1 plus 3 minus 2. 4 minus 2, the answer is 2. Find the value of that for x equals 0. For x equals 0, what is the value? Value of that expression is equal to, if you put x equals 0, 0 squared. You can do it mentally, no? Hiten karanna puluwan. 0 squared plus 3 times 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So 0 plus 0 minus 2. So the value is going to be, if you put x equals 0, it is minus 2. Now, just for the fun of it, value of this for square root 2. You all have seen square root 2, no? Square root 2. So now what do? We have to go to the expression, yes, this, and put x equals square root 2. If you put x equals square root 2, this would read as the value for this x is square root 2 squared plus 3 times square root 2 minus 3 times square root 2 minus 2. I'm finding the value of this for the, so I did that to explain to you. When we use these letters to represent symbols, we can actually make statements about expressions which are valid for any real number x. If we put numbers to it, just what can you do with 2? It is 2. This is when x equals 0, the value is minus 2. Now, the value is this. What is square root 2 squared? Square root 2 times square root 2, you all know. 2 plus, this is 3 square root 2 minus 2. Plus 2 minus 2 cancels. 3 square root 2 is the value. Very boring probably, but at least you picked up some new English terms for mathematical objects. Okay. So now we go to the note. Now when you read it,
Recording stopped.
These things happen when we work with technology, okay? I think I have to share screen again because the connection was interrupted. Wait, so be patient. Participants, host. 23 UG1. Now I'm the host. Thank you. Yes. Even before I said it, it occurred. Now I have to do the recording also. Wait. Oh, gee, where do I record? Should be here. Wait. I have to do the share screen. Okay, now okay. Those things happen.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so sorry for the interruption. Now, if I take the expression, algebraic expression I gave you at the beginning, there are three terms. This term, it's a variable term because x is there. Remember, we were able to substitute many different values for x and get the value of the entire expression. So this is a variable term. This is also a variable term because x is there. Variable letters. Letters represent any real number. We sometimes call them variables. So this is a variable term. This is a variable term. This term minus 2. That doesn't contain any variable term. Such terms are called constant terms. Constant. What is it in Sinhala? Constant, for the benefit of Tamil speaking students, constant means something that doesn't change. Venas venne nathi. Niyata. Niyata. Okay, constant in Sinhala is niyata. It's something that doesn't change. If the variable letter is there, it changes with the value of x. No? But this doesn't. No matter what x is, it remains the same. Such terms are called constants. And then let us go to a new example. It's algebraic expressions. A new algebraic expression. 3x squared plus 5x minus 7. This 3, which is with x squared term, this is called the constant that appears with the variable term. This 3 is a constant. No? If you take 3, just 3, it's a constant. That constant is coming together with x squared. We say this is the coefficient. C-O-E-F-F-I. Coefficient of x squared. 3 is the coefficient of x squared. What is the coefficient of x here? This term, coefficient of x is 5. Minus 7 is the constant term. Two variable terms, there are coefficients and then the constant term. If you have 3 x to the power 5 minus 2 x to the power 3 plus 5 x squared minus 2x plus 5. Look at that algebraic expression. What is the coefficient of x to the power 5? By coefficient, we mean the number that is with that term in multiplication. 3 times x to the power 5. 3 is the coefficient of x to the power 5. What is the coefficient of x to the power 4? coefficient of x to the power 5 equals 3. X to the power 4, coefficient of x to the power 4. No x to the power 4 term is there. See the way we read it, we will be doing exponents a little later. So that is how you read x to the power 4. No x to the power 4 term is there. So coefficient is 0. That is why it is not there. Okay, we say it's there, but with 0 coefficient. So it kills the term. 0 times x to the power 0, or anything is 0. And then 5x squared, coefficient of x cubed is, what is the coefficient of x cubed in that expression? It is equal to minus 2. Coefficient of x squared is 5. Coefficient of x is minus 2. Minus sign. This is like plus minus 2x. 5 is the constant term. Okay? So that is the language that is required there with algebraic expressions. Now let us move on to, yes, identifying terms and coefficients. That is what I just did. So you will be doing examples. This is evaluating algebraic expressions. Now you can try to read this and understand. That is the best way. I explain it, so I guide you to understand it. That is the best way to learn. Now, basic rules of algebra. Okay. Wait, I don't want that here. I want this. In fact, these are taken from a book. The book for this course, Pre-Calculus with Limits. Author's name is Larson. Pre-Calculus with Limits. So these notes were prepared using that book, not by me. I'm using this book is the best book, in fact, one could find for courses like this. It's a beautifully written book, and mathematically also. Anybody who has done this before now can see everything is fitting into one nice framework of providing you a new way of learning mathematics. Now look at, this is the best thing, basic rules of algebra. Okay. These are all things that you need. First property of algebra is a plus b equals b plus a. I don't think even A-level combined maths and mathematics students know the name for it. It's called the commutative property of addition. Commutative. If we say commuters, people who go between, commute from one place to another. So, commutative property, meaning order in which we add numbers or algebraic expressions for that matter. Algebraic expressions are also for a value is given for the variable becomes a number. So even if you just know these for numbers, they can be used for algebraic expressions as well. Okay, commutative property means a plus b equals b plus a. We say addition is commutative. I'm not asking you to memorize them, but it gives, these are the very basic properties. Imagine doing mathematics for this many years and you have done all these rules. Learn them, work with them also. But it was just one piece at a time, not the whole thing as the properties. These properties, what is the first one? So there's another one. If you take two real numbers, a and b, a plus b is also a real number. If you are not comfortable with the term real, you did real numbers last time. No? Basically numbers that you have worked with so far. If you have done complex numbers, then of course we have to be careful. Otherwise, all the numbers that you have used are one way or the other real numbers. So for real numbers, order in which you add them does not matter. That is called the commutative property of addition. It's not only commutative under addition. Real numbers are commutative under multiplication. See how nicely they are grouped. A times B is equal to B times A. You can add things in, multiply things in any order. Associative property for addition. Yeah. Look at it. There's a name for it also. We have been using them without any thought. What is the associate? What does that property tell us? A plus B, bracket. You know, brackets must be done first now. So A plus B, the result added to C is what is there on the left-hand side of the, here. I use the cursor. Here. A added to B first, and that result is added to C. Is the same as A added to the result of B plus C. Okay, so it's not only for 2, okay, for 3 also. Order in which we add doesn't matter. Associate, in fact, say because of this property only we just write A plus B plus C without brackets. A plus B plus C would mean the additions taken in any order. Next one, associative property for multiplication. First one is associative, commutative, associative. Again, true for addition, true for multiplication also. You all know AB times C is the same as A times BC. BC is B multiplied by C. There are examples given. Try to understand them, how they relate to these. Okay? Just to develop your mathematical way of learning. Then we have this distributive property. A times B plus C. How do you say, removing brackets? That is the distributive property. A times B plus C. See the order in which things are done. Bracket, B plus C. A multiplied by the sum of B and C is the same as, it's equal to A times B, see AB, A times C, AC. And this is multiplication from the left, and distributive property is true even if you multiply it from the other side. And we know multiplication is commutative also. So this is also a property that you knew. A plus B times C is AC plus BC. Okay. Then these are the most fundamental properties of addition and multiplication of real numbers. I will go a little further and say anything that you have done with addition and multiplication alone can be done with these properties. These are so we have grouped rather than learning these properties in a scattered manner. We have now brought uniformity into the presentation. Basic rules of algebra. Anything else you have done with just addition and multiplication. Addition and multiplication includes subtraction and division also. I'll come to that in a minute. That's a piece I left out here. I didn't want to say that first. This is a better way. Next property is additive identity property. Now you might be thinking, this is going to be difficult. All those results we have to memorize. No, this is a methodical organization of things that you already knew. Additive identity property means if you add 0 to any real number, answer is that number. A plus 0 is equal to A. So 0 is the additive identity, meaning when you add it to any number, number doesn't change. What is the multiplicative identity? When you take a number and multiply by what, would you get the same number? මොන ඉලක්කමෙන් වැඩි කරොත්ද ඒව ඒවම හම්බ වෙන්නේ. It is 1. So in the number system, there is this multiplicative identity. A times 1 is equal to A times 1 is equal to A. Since multiplication is commutative, you can write it the other way also. 1 times A equals A. 0 plus A is A. Next one, inverse property. That is, there is a number. Given a number, A, say 5. If you take minus 5 and add it to it, you get 0. So we say minus A is the additive inverse of A. When added to A, you get 0. Additive identity. Same thing for multiplication, but this is the most abused property. Multiplicative inverse property. What does it say? A multiplied by what would give us the multiplicative identity? Meaning A times what is 1 over A. Given a real number A, if it is non-zero, this is the most important part. If you take a non-zero real number, then A times 1 over A is equal to 1. It's like a cancellation, no? But you cannot cancel by divide by 0. I talked about it during the orientation session. But for now, since we have to move forward, we shall skip that. For Sinhala speaking students, we haven't done the Tamil translation yet. There is a YouTube video myself and another person from Sri Jawadanapura University did to remove or eliminate misconceptions. 1 over 0, don't say, even if you were there at the orientation session or not, 1 over 0 has no meaning. 1 over 0 is undefined. That is why whenever you have a denominator, meaning bottom, it should not be 0. Because division is the same as multiplication by its inverse. Okay, so 0 has no multiplicative inverse, meaning 1 over 0 has no meaning. That's worth, it's worth spending little time on. So hereafter, today we have 2 hours, no? Students? Hereafter, it will be, it's a 3 credit course, therefore 1 mentoring session and 2 interactive sessions. So let me use it to explain this a little more. Okay, so what did I say? Said 1 over 0. A times 1 over A is equal to 1. A times 1 over A is equal to, what is A? Any real number. 1 only for A not equal to 0. Because if you cannot work with numbers if you try to give 1 over 0 meaning. 1 over 0 is undefined. It has no meaning. Some people say this is equal to infinity. No such thing. It has no meaning. 1 over 0 is undefined. Now, on the real number system, there are 2 operations. One called addition, the other called multiplication. Sometimes we put a dot instead of writing the cross, little cross. Addition and multiplication. Two operations. We learn there are 4 operations. No, there are only 2. Wait. Students? Can you hear me? Yeah. So I've used the app using my phone. So when calls come, it gets interrupted a bit. Can you hear me and see the screen? Can a student help me? At least put in the chat, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, I wasn't sure whether the connection got interrupted. Sorry. So, on the real number system, you learn real number system is denoted by this symbol. You're stuck. Mhm. Yes. Real number system. This is the real, real, real set of all real numbers. Set of all real numbers denoted by this double vertical R. Double vertical R. So basically all the numbers that you knew so far. And they can be represented by points on a line. You did that last time. It's called the number line, real number line. So it's like 0 here and then it's move certain distance. 1, 2, 3. All the numbers, rational, irrational, half would be somewhere here. Square root 2 would be somewhere here, and so on. This side, -1, the negative numbers, -2. Infinity is not a number. Okay? Infinity is not the biggest number, so I talked about them during the orientation. But anyway, just keep this in your mind. If you are in doubt, please call me and ask me, or yes, put a WhatsApp message and ask me to explain. No, I'll do something to get your doubts off. 1 over 0 is undefined, meaning now, on the real number system, there are two operations. We know how to add numbers, we know how to multiply numbers. We define, once you have those two done, we define the subtraction a minus b to be a plus minus b. So, what is a minus b? A minus b is a added to the additive inverse of b. Minus b is the additive inverse, no? Difficult, no, lot of words to memorize, but think of it this way. So we have plus, if you know plus and the additive inverses, you can define subtraction. How? A plus minus b. Similarly, a over b, this way, or sometimes we write a, this lower grades, we use this notation, no? A divided by b. A over B is defined to be division, is defined to be A times 1 over B. 1 over B is the multiplicative inverse of B. We know this doesn't exist for B equals 0. So we have to say here for B not equal to 0. A over B is A times 1 over B. But that is that definition is valid only for b not equal to 0. 1 over b is 1 over 0 is undefined. Students, put in the chat if you want me to explain that why it is undefined. Otherwise, if you can keep that and use it properly, it's needed for your other course. When you go to Mathematics 1, those things are needed. Even A-level combined math students sometimes say, many of them in fact, 1 over 0. What is 1 over 0? And they say, 1 over 0 is infinity. Infinity is something else that we talked about during the orientation also. But attendance was not that good, no? So I'm not sure whether I should ever use that phrase. I did it during the orientation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, why is 1 over 0 undefined? Let me explain that and keep that in mind. And you would do your mathematical way of thinking would improve. when you try to understand such things. Why is 1 over 0 undefined? Why? Why is 1 over 0 undefined? Meaning we cannot define it. Why is 1 over 0 undefined? No meaning. Cannot define. අර්ථ දක්වන්න බෑ. Suppose we can. So we are using very old technique of proof called the method of contradiction. You want to prove that 1 over 0 is undefined. Let us suppose that, let us suppose or assume, suppose, let us suppose that 1 over 0 has a meaning, as a real number. Let us suppose that 1 over 0 is a real number. It's a real number. Has a meaning. Other numbers are the ones that has meaning. Here, has a meaning here. 1 over 0 is a real number. Now we are thinking of it as a real number. Let us suppose, we are assuming, we are not saying. Let us suppose that it is a real number. Then we say, let us take, let us take it to be, අපි ඒකට මොකක්ද නමක් දෙමු. To be A. අපි මේක A කියමු. So what is A? A is 1 over 0. Let us call it A. So now A is going to be 1 over 0. Now we all know if this is the case, then so what is A? A is the multiplicative inverse of 0. Then A becomes the multiplicative, බර වැඩිද දන්නේ multiplicative inverse inverse of 0. We said we cannot have a multiplicative inverse to 0. So we are trying to explain why we left 0 out of multiplicative inverses. Then A becomes a multiplicative inverse of 0, meaning 0 multiplied by A should be equal to 1. Then this should be so. Here one might say, A reverse to reverse source, 0 times A is equal to 1. Cross multiplication. If this is true, then this is true. I say it in a different, more sophisticated manner. But so if A is equal to 1 over 0, then 0 times A should be equal to 1. But we know 0 times any real number, but 0 times any real number is equal to 0. That is a property of 0. We can actually prove it from the list of properties that we put forth earlier. Basic properties of algebra. 0 times cos O dot 0. So what do we have? But this is equal to 0. Therefore, we get what? Look, 0 times A is 1. It's equal to 0. So we get 0 is equal to 1. But we know 0 and 1 are distinct. Distinct කියන්නේ different කියන එක. Different කියන්නේ වෙනස් කියන එක. Distinct in සිංහල ඕගොල්ලෝ දුවයි. අහලා නැත්තම්. Distinct meaning ප්‍රභින්න. Tamil speaking student, distinct means they are different. 0 and 1 are not. Actually 1 is bigger than 0. Remember on the number line 1 is here. 0 is there. 1 is bigger than 0. 1 cannot be 0. If 1 is equal to 0, joke if 0 is equal to 1, if you add 1 to both sides, you get 1 is equal to 2. If you add 1 to both sides again, 2 is equal to 3. At one both sides again, 3 is equal to 4. 4 is equal to 5. All the numbers become 0. What a life would it have been? No? No others. Just one number, 0. We get 0 equals 1. This type of absurd statement, we know it is mathematically not possible. 0 and 1 are not equal. Such a thing is called, this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. Contradiction. A statement that is always false. Why did we get that? We got that contradiction because we assumed something which is not true. We assumed that 1 over 0 has a meaning, a real number. 1 over 0 is not a number. So what is it? We are working with numbers. So we say 1 over 0 cannot be defined to be a real number. That is what we mean by 1 over 0 is undefined. If 1 over 0, so is that okay? Bāගට ලාවට හරි තේරුණාද? Did you understand it? පොඩ්ඩක් chat එකේ දාන්නකො බලන්න මම නිකන් just to gauge කොහොමද කියලා ඔයගලන්ට මම කියනවා තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් වැඩක් නැහැනේ. Yes, okay. Right. So this is not there in the, yes, thank you. This is not there in the note, okay? So just to make it interesting and not just to make it interesting. We can crack jokes now. These are mathematical statements which are so beautiful that every student should know. So you have gone through lots of mathematics in your life. Everybody. Without mathematics, we cannot live in this world. No, we cannot even get up and go to a meeting, schedulings, let alone anything else. We couldn't meet at a given time if not for numbers, so to say the least. So 1 over 0 has no meaning. As I told you, we have done a video in Signal. I'll tell you how to access that. Okay, it's there on YouTube. It's done for teachers of Sri Lanka, but we think it is good also for any A-level and above, or any students, or even O-level students should know this fact. This is the way. If you take 8th grade students in developed countries, their textbooks, when they do this, they say this. They say this. 8th grade student might not be able to understand it, but at least have something in the back of their mind at very early age, that there is some issue with division by 0, and which can be easily settled when they are mature enough. Okay, rather than just doing it as a procedure. So what are the consequences of this discussion? 1 over 0 is undefined. It makes division by 0 meaningless. See, A over B is A times 1 over B. No? If 1 over B is undefined, you cannot talk about A times. You cannot multiply A with something undefined. No? So if B is equal to 0, that's what will happen. So I cannot talk of A over B or A divided by B when B is equal to 0. So there are few ways of saying it. Even after saying all these ways, students like to go back to their old ways, that is, old ways. Yes. So 1 over 0 is undefined. Undefined. Another way is division by 0. Division by 0 division by 0 is impossible. Is impossible. You cannot divide by 0. We cannot divide by, we cannot divide by 0. I will never divide, like in our පන්සිල්වල තියෙනවා වගේ, like in our 5 precepts. I will never divide by 0. So, having said all that, if I ask you, what is simplify? Simplify x squared over x. Example. Simplify x squared over x. What is it? X squared over x. X squared is x times x. We will, when we do indices, exponents, we will talk about it. I'll do it briefly only, okay? But these type of things are more important for you to absorb. Simplify x squared over x. But your exams, don't worry, okay? For the exams, mostly what you learn at the interactive sessions and problem sets are the best guide. So, simplify x squared over x. In fact, by the way, this course, we did not change the syllabus, pre-calculus. Yeah. The other ones, earlier to achieve IC requirement for mathematics, people who haven't done combined maths or mathematics for A-level, they have to do pre-calculus. Then there is an introductory calculus course. And after that only, there was this mathematical analysis, introductory mathematical analysis course. That was the IC module, which is a high ladder to climb. So now all that has been simplified. So after this course, you immediately go to mathematics 1, which is the IC module. So simplify this. What do you do? How do you simplify x squared over x? You might laugh, no? What is it saying? This is equal to x times x divided by x, no? So to simplify, what do we need to do? Cancel the common factors. So what do you get? So you would say, cancelling this to this, you would say this is equal to x, which is false. You cannot divide when x is, what is x? We said when we move from arithmetic to algebra, we use letters to represent real numbers. Then we have to get this into your mind in a strong way. X is any real number. So before cancelling, make sure that it is something that cannot be 0. But x is, we will also simplify this. What is x? If nothing else is said, x is any real number. So cancellation is possible only for x not equal to 0. That is the correct way to do it. X squared over x is not x. See? This is an algebraic expression. Find the value of this when x is equal to 5. Find the value of find the value of this. Find the value of this for first one, x is equal to 5. Second one, x is equal to -2. Third one, x is equal to 0. Find this example. What are the examples? X squared over x. For x equals 5, what is the answer? Answer, 5 squared over 5. 25 over 5, no? So that is 5. Here, if you put x equals -2, it would be, what is the answer? Answer, minus 2 squared over minus 2. Minus 2 squared over minus 2. Top is minus 2 times minus 2. 1 minus 2 can be cancelled. You get the answer minus 2. Here, what is the answer? Answer, if you put x equals 0, 0 squared over 0. That is the same as 0 over 0, no? You don't have to go to this immediately. You are dividing by 0, meaning you are multiplying by 1 over 0. This is undefined. Answer. What is the correct answer? These are meaningless things to write. Answer is, when x is equal to 0, this is undefined. Undefined. Understand it? What will happen? What will happen if x is equal to 0? So here, if x is equal to 5, answer is 5. See, x squared over x is x. When x is equal to minus 2, answer is minus 2. That is what we are saying now. It's equal to x, but you cannot say it for x equals 0. Because then you would be saying 0 over 0 is 0. 0 over 0 is undefined. Division by 0 is multiplication by 1 over 0. Remember, a over b was defined to be a times 1 over b. So if you have 0 here, it is going to be undefined, because this is going to be undefined for b equals 0. So whenever we write this should run through your mind. For O level, this is not done. So students just cancel. Division, no. This would be considered as, without this would be considered as the correct answer for O level. That's why. I'm not saying we can go to that level of complexity for O levels, but O level students are very capable of understanding it, the ones that we have met at various training sessions. Okay, so that is it. So although we said all this undefined, I will never divide by 0, you divided by 0. Cancellation is division. So common factors can be cancelled when they are non-zero. Common non-zero factors can be cancelled. Common, ඉස්කෝලේදී කියන්නේ common factors. උඩයි යටයි තියෙනවා කපන්න. බෙදන්න. එකම තියෙනවා. Those are misleading statements. I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I also went through the same system, no? Okay, but things must change at some point in time. Okay, we have to move with the rest of the world in mathematics education. Our students are good in math, but they are capable of handling things much better than the developed world, in fact. Okay, so that's it. So division by, so if I ask you to simplify O-level problem, simplify x squared minus 1 over x minus 1. How do you simplify? Some of you might not remember how to difference of two squares. Remember වර්ග දෙක අන්තරය කියලා කිව්වා අටේ පන්තියේදී විතර ඉඳලා grade 8 forward onwards. Difference of two squares. Factorization is possible. So let me show you the correct way to do this. O-level way would be x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 equals, the top is x squared minus 1 squared. You will be doing factorization later. Just a review. Those are the factors of x squared minus 1. A squared minus b squared, factors are a plus b, a minus b. So the 1 is 1 squared. You can think of it as 1 square. Now, after that, most people cancel this to this. But cancellation is possible and give the answer as x plus 1. This is not okay for us. Because we divided by x minus 1. Cancellation is division by, yes. So, what is wrong? This cancellation is possible only for x minus 1 not equal to 0. For x minus 1 equal to 0 when x is equal to 1. You have to say this cancellation like we said earlier for, like we said here, x squared over x is equal to x for x not equal to 0. Likewise here, this over this is equal to this after cancelling, provided that this x minus 1 is not equal to 0. But x minus 1 equal to 0 is the same as may equation solve karan. How do you solve x minus 1 equal to 0? Take this, x is equal to 1. So now we are saying this thing that we cancelled could be 0 for one value of x. For that value we cannot divide. So as a correct mathematical statement, we should be mindful of this. That this could be 0. For what value? Yes, for x equals 1. That is the only bad value. Okay? So, when you have a fraction, so what is a over a? A over a is equal to 1 for a not equal to 0. Because a over a is what? A over a equals a times 1 over a. This has no meaning if a is equal to 0. Therefore, 0 over 0 is not 1. A over a is equal to 1, cancellation, when it is non-zero. Non-zero, common factors. Non-zero common factors can be cancelled. Have you ever heard somebody saying like that? If it is there on the top, at the bottom, then cancel. But this is exactly what is happening. Okay, so this is even lower level maths done in a different way, in a different meaning. Yeah, I don't want. It's not to criticize. I told you, I also went through the same system. So these are the basic rules. Read it. You can read it from the note. It's not in one go. That is why I went to the book. Now go to the note. Basic rules we have done. Yeah, those were done. Yes, all those are. Properties of negation. These are, no? Minus 1 times a is equal to minus a. Minus a is, minus times minus is plus, no? Here minus ab. Okay, are these properties okay? When you, hereafter when you do simplifications, you are allowed only to use these known properties. You cannot invent your own, okay? It must be in the list of properties that we have done so far. That is the idea about summarizing, organizing the properties. මේ තියෙන මේවා තමයි අපිට එකතු කරනකොට වැඩි කරනකොට when you multiply, add, these are the properties that we can use. Then when you go to subtraction, division by 0 again, we said about division by 0 also, undefined. Now these are properties of negation and equality. Equality. Negation කියන්නේ ඔය negative sign එක තියෙන එක ඔය කියලා තියෙන එක ඕනේ නැහැ. You don't need this word. Just know the property. Minus 1 times A is equal to minus A. I mean, you can prove it actually from the list of properties I gave as algebraic properties. Remember, about 10 properties were there. Those can be proved using these properties. That is why I said anything you have done with addition and multiplication can be done with these properties. The properties you don't need the names, but you need to know the properties. Okay? Here, minus A plus B is the same as minus 1 times A plus B. Minus A plus minus B. Or minus A minus B. මේවා වරද්ද ගන්නවා ළමයි හරියට මෙතන මයිනස් එකක් දාපු ගමන් වැඩ මේ ඔක්කොම අච්චාරු වෙනවා. නිකම්ම yeah. Minus A minus B. Minus times minus is plus. Here examples are given. Just read it and refresh your memory, okay? These are the properties of equal sign. If A is equal to B, you can add anything to both sides. You can subtract anything from both sides. If A is equal to B, you can multiply it by any number. AC equals BC. Even with 0, you can multiply. If A is equal to B, for any number C, AC is equal to BC. Then A plus C equals plus or minus දාලා තියෙන්නේ. This plus or minus is whenever you see it, take the plus sign separately and minus sign separately. Without the author has become lazy to write it twice. If A plus C equals B plus C, our C's can be cancelled කියලා කියන්නේ දෙපැත්තෙම තියෙනවනේ. We say same thing on both sides can be cancelled with respect to addition or subtraction. A minus C equals B minus C minus A is equal to B. All you have to do is if it is minus, add the C to both sides. If it is plus C, add minus C to both sides. You get this. You can prove it using the properties listed. But these are things that you have done. This is important now. We talked about it a lot. If AC is equal to BC and C is a non-zero number, you can divide. See, AC equals BC. You cannot say A equals B. Because from here to here, from AC equals BC to A equals B, you have to divide by C or multiply by 1 over C. That cannot be done when C is equal to 0. Remember, we said division by 0 is not possible, impossible. Cannot divide by 0. Dividing by 0 is the same as multiplying by 1 over 0. ඒකයි. Okay, so those are the properties. ඒවා ටික බලා ගන්න. See, properties of 0 මේවා ඔක්කොම දාන්න මේවා මෙතන. 0 over A. Everybody knows no, A plus 0 is equal to A. A minus 0 is A. A times 0 is A. Now go for division. 0 over A is 0 only for A not equal to 0. Whenever you see a denominator, bottom top is called the numerator. හරය කියලා කිව්වේ. නෑ හරකයි ඉන්නේ පල්ලෙහා sorry. ළමය. Numerator. I shouldn't have used the singular term. No, I would have made a mistake there. Anyway, you cannot live without making mistakes. The important thing is to know how to correct them. Okay? So you cannot do mathematics without doing mistakes. You all know that. But it's not only you. Every mathematician. Okay? There is no mathematician on the planet who lived so far and will live hereafter would be a person who hasn't done any or wouldn't do any mistakes. Cannot do it. But in the exams, if you do it, your marks are deducted. True. Yes. A over 0, that is here. A over 0 is undefined. You cannot have denominator 0. Now here you see now, 0 in the denominator. Yes, it was told to us that we cannot, again that will happen. Right here. මේක කරදරයක් මොකක් හරි කරන්න ඕනේ. Sorry for the interruption. කමක් නැහැ ඉතින් පොඩි බ්‍රේක් එකක් තියෙන එකත් හොඳයිනේ. Okay. So next time when you come, read the note and come. Make it a habit not only for this one, for others also. You might not understand what is said, but still having a familiarity with it might help you very much. Not only for math, okay, for other courses also. The mode of delivery is different here at the SLTC Research University. It's not just physical. Physical sessions are interactive sessions. And there is this mentoring session, and then you have this online delivery, like using the LMS, the notes are uploaded and stuff. So anyway, let me get to the where is my yes, it's so. So whatever we say, what is 0 over A? A is a real number. What is A over 0? A over 0 you will say undefined. Why? Division by 0 we said cannot be done. No? This is A times 1 over 0. No? Undefined. Undefined. What is this? What is 0 over 5? Is equal to 0. 0 over negative 2 is 0. But 0 over 0 is undefined. So when I say A, never forget, A is just a real number. Therefore, A could be 0. Therefore, you can say, but we know if you divide 0 by any non-zero number, like say, what is 0 over 7? 0 over 7 is 0 times 1 over 7. 1 over 7 is the multiplicative inverse of 7 that exists. This is a number. 0 times any number is equal to 0. 0 over A is equal to 0 only for A not equal to 0. It is very difficult to digest because you have been trained to do things. This one, I don't know what you would say if not for undefined. Might say plus infinity or minus infinity, no such thing. Okay? Infinity, in fact, infinity, just as infinity, it's not going to be defined in this course or in your next Mathematics 1 course also. Infinity is a symbol that we use to make our life little more convenient. It's a convenient symbol. It's not a number. There is no largest real number. Infinity, don't think of infinity as the largest number because there is no such. ලොකුම සංඛ්‍යාව කියලා ගන්න නැත්නම් කොහොමද ඒකට සංකේත දෙන්නේ? If there is no biggest number, how can you give it a symbol? So infinity is not. So this is answer is not infinity. A over 0 is undefined. අර්ථයක් නැහැ. ගණිතය කරන්න බෑ ඒකත්. It has no meaning. We cannot do mathematics with it. Okay? Now, yes. So properties. See, zero factor property. This is also important one. Zero factor property. If AB is equal to 0, then A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. It can be proved easily, but at least you have used this property many times in the past. What are we saying? If AB is equal to 0, if AB is equal to 0, then only way we can get the answer of a product can product can multiplication gunited product. If the product of two numbers is equal to 0, then at least one number should be 0. If both numbers are non-zero, you cannot get 0 as the answer. Then A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. අනේ මේකත් හොඳටම this word O. In mathematics, O is used in the inclusive sense. English කරනකොට O ඉගෙන ගන්නවා exclusive sense කියලා එකකුයි inclusive sense කියලා. That is English. Inclusive meaning of O. This is inclusive meaning of O. O කියන එක in mathematical logic, even for IT students, this is extremely important. In mathematical logic, the connective O is used to mean the inclusive O. Inclusive meaning, when I say A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0, what I actually mean is that A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0 or both A and B are 0. Or both A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0. At a party, if you are a mathematician, when you are asked whether you like ice cream or fruits for dessert, ice cream or fruit for dessert, yeah, you can have both. In mathematics, O means either A, this is true, or this is true, or this is true. Both are true. So, the way to prove it is this. I'm not sure whether you will understand it. It's not an insult to you or anything. It's just the way we have been taught. So, to prove this, what we do is, suppose A is not equal to 0. Now, what we have is, not for the exam or anything. Just these properties, we have been using these now. If AB is equal to 0, if A is, so let us suppose A is not equal to 0. Suppose that A is not equal to 0. If A is not equal to 0, 1 over A is good. 1 over A is defined. It's a number. Only 1 over 0 is undefined. Now AB equals 0, so this is a number. Multiply. AB equal to 0. We said we can multiply in an equality by any number. Any number. 1 over A times AB equals 1 over A times 0. If you suppose that A is not equal to 0, we get this. Now this we know. Addition can be done, multiplication can be done in any order. No? This times B equals 1 over A times 0. 1 over A is a number, so any number times 0 is 0. But A times 1 over A is not equal to 0. Therefore, these two can be cancelled. Or 1. 1 times B is equal to 0. So if I assume A is not equal to 0, B has to be 0. If I assume B is not equal to 0, A has to be 0. Or A and B both can be 0 because we know what is 0 times 0. 0 times 0 is also 0. It's 0 over 0 is undefined. Not only 0 over 0 is undefined. 5 over 0 is also undefined. Or for that matter, any real number a over 0 is undefined. Okay, so this proof is not necessary. I just added it even for one student if you can understand that might be helpful person. Now we shall go to the note and see what else is there for today. Properties. Basic operations of fractions. ඉතින් මේවා ටික දන්නවා නේද ඔයගොල්ලෝ? Equivalent fractions. A over B is the same as C over D. If and only if cross multiplication gives us the equality. AD cross multiplication හරහට වැඩි කරනවා. AD must be equal to BC. මේකේ උඩින්ම බලන්න ඒකවල shape වෙන හැටි. Let AB, CD be real numbers such that B not equal to 0 and D not equal to 0. මේවා කිසි දෙයක් හරියන්නේ නැහැ. Nothing of this would be true if the denominator is allowed to be 0. Denominators, bottom, cannot be 0. Now this is like 16 over 4 is the same as 8 over 2. Did I? It's being recorded, no? Hope so. Where is that? Dang it, back. I think it's recorded. Yes. Yes. This is, it's like 16 over 4 is equal to 8 over 2 equals 4 over 1. They are all equivalent fractions. Take for example this. Why is this equal to this? Cross multiplication. 8 over 2 equals 4 over 1 because when you multiply these two, 8, when you multiply these two also. Therefore, this is true. It amounts to cancelling non-zero common factors. So that's enough for that. Yes. Glance at the rules. A over B equals C over D if and only if AD is equal to BC. Next, rules of signs. Minus A over B equals, minus sign can be put in the middle, at the top or at the bottom. If you have minus over minus, minus A over minus B, we can cancel the minus signs, meaning minus A is like minus 1 times A. Minus B is like minus 1 times B. Minus 1 is a non-zero common factor. We can cancel. Generating, yes, this cancellation is possible if the C is not equal to 0. I want to talk about the next one a little. A plus C. මේවා මේ වැරදි මේ පස්සේ තියෙනවා වෙනම section එකක් වැරදි වලටම. Now A over B plus C over B. Same denominator. B should not be 0. Okay, කියන්න දෙයක් නෙමෙයි ලිව්වොත්. This is equal to same denominators B here A plus C. So what is 7 over 3 plus 2 over 3? 1 over 3. 7 over 3 plus 1 over 3 would be 8 over 3. 3 is 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay. Now, sometimes students do strange things. Now, if you have x plus 3 over 3, it's like this side. This is another thing. When you write an equation, we are trained to read it from left to right. But right to left is also true. Equal sign. If A is equal to B, then B is equal to A. That is the property of equal sign. So when you write this way is easy now, because we are saying from the same denominator, you just add the numbers at the top. But if you have A plus C over B, you can break it into this. Can you break this into that? Some students cancel 3 to 3. One of my favorite examples. X plus 3 over 3. Can you cancel 3 to 3? It's not a common factor. If this had been multiplication, then you can cancel. So these are trivial things. But people who do it without any conscious meaning in the mind to it. Truly. So then, udai yatai kapande ehema bෑ. Non-zero common factors can be cancelled. So you cannot cancel like that. That is not possible. But you can always write this as x over 3 plus 3 over 3. A. B, A plus C over B is A over B plus A over C. A over B plus B over B. මොනවද කියන්නේ? A over B plus C over B. Using it the other way, opposite way. Now 3 to 3 can be cancelled there. So what is the answer? 1, 1. So it is x over 3 plus 1. They are equal. Now if you are given 3 over x plus 3, can you simplify? Just keep it. Just keep it. You cannot simplify it any further. Just keep it as it is. No simplification can be done. Not even something like this can be done. Okay? It's A plus at the top. Minus also the same. If this is a minus here, this is a minus. Then you all know the common denominator stuff. So, now, yes, yes. Okay. These are, you all know, no? A or B. How do you explain it? Let me put the line. I want to explain A over B plus C over D. You might say, yeah. Add and subtract with unlike denominators. අර කලින් එකේ like denominators නේ එකම ඒවා තිබ්බේ. A over B plus C over D is equal to dot stop. Yes. If these are equal, then we can put that there and add the numerator. Numerator stops. But here, A over B plus C over D, not like denominators. Make them like denominators. How? Multiply this by D and multiply this by B. If you multiply in a quotient, bottom, you have to do the same thing to the top. So, this is A D over B D. I multiply top and bottom by D. D must not be 0. We know if you write something like this, B not equal to 0 and D not equal to 0 must be there. So I multiplied top and bottom by D, plus here also multiply top and bottom by B. BC over BD. Now say like denominators. So what do we get? AD plus BC over BD. This is what you learned at school. Multiply these two, this times this, put it at the top. So if you want x over 3 plus y over 2, multiply these two and put 6 here, 2x plus 3y. Unlike denominators. So that is, if it is minus, that is minus. Those are things, just refresh them. If you are in trouble with those, let the person at the interactive session know that you are in trouble. Here, multiply. If it is multiplication, here this is addition. See, that making connections is extremely important. When it is plus, it's done this way. Minus, it's done that way. But if it is a product, we just multiply the two, AC over BD. Division is the same as invert and multiply. C over D, make it D over C. For this expression to be valid, okay, this expression to be valid, B should not be 0. Since this is there, D should not be 0, and this is there, C should not be 0. Earlier we were told that B and D are not equal to 0, but he has put C not equal to 0 because the other two are covered from the statement at the top. Division is multiplication by flipping the top and bottom. Now exponents. Yes. Exponents. Exponents is the same as repeated multiplication. Okay, මම ඒක කියලා වෙලා properties ටික පෙන්නන ඕගොල්ලෝ properties ටික බලන්න ඕනේ absolute value එක මම අනිත් දවසට තියන්නම්. මේකේ properties ටික අපි ඉගෙන ගමු. About 10 minutes යමුකෝ අපි 47 or 10 minutes වගේ තියෙනවා 57. Okay. I want to do okay. Let A be a real number. Let A be a real number. And N be a positive integer. N, positive integer. Positive integer bigger than 1. Positive integer bigger than 1. Again, what does that say? So N can be 2, 3, 4. Bigger than 1 means 1 is not allowed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. In mathematics, this happens. We write the same thing in different ways. N be a positive integer bigger than 1. ඉතින් අකරානේ positive integers ගැන. Last time you did. So suppose you have these two conditions. What do we mean by a to the power n? A to the power n is a times dot times a. How many times? N terms. Repeated multiplication. Repeat a times a. How many times? N times. That is a to the power n. Then if you have something like a squared times a to the power 5, this should be equal to what? A multiplied twice, multiplied 5 times. So a gets multiplied 7 times. You just add the two. You remember these. Now, with that, the properties of exponents. These are absolutely essential, okay? So, just review them. See whether These are the properties of exponents. Exponents kya manada? It's like a to the power n. It's n is the exponent. Oh. A is the base. When you write a to the power n, that is hemai kiyawanne. A to the power n or a to the nth power. Api kiyawa nikama a to the power n. N factors. Better. Mama kiwe n terms kiyala in the multiplication. Where n is called the exponent. And a is called the base. We need those two terms later. Base n. So these are the laws of exponents. They are all familiar to you. A to the power m times a to the power n is a to the power m plus n. Example is on the other side. 3 squared times 3 to the power 4. 3 to the power 6. That is 3 multiplied 6 times. 729. Here if it is division, a should not be 0. Division. A to the power m divided by a to the power n is a to the power m minus n. Here x to the power 7 divided by x to the power 4 is x to the power 7 minus 4 x cubed. A to the power minus n and balanda exponent again minus the minus sign is in the exponent. It doesn't make the number negative. It makes the number 1 over n. Then exponent again negative it becomes 1 over n. Here, y to the power minus 4 is 1 over y to the power 4. මේකත් ලොකු වැඩක් තමයි අපි උඩින් කියලා ඉමු. A to the power 0 ඉස්කෝලේදී කිව්වේ මොකද්ද? ඕනම සංඛ්‍යාවක බිඳුවේ බලය 1යි කියලා. 0th power of any real number is 1. That is wrong. 0 to the power 0 is undefined. අර 1 over 0 වගේ මේකක් ඔය. A to the power 0 is 1 for a not equal to 0. That why we are saying a not equal to 0? Because 0 to the power 0 is something similar to 1 over 0. We cannot do mathematics with. Not අපිට උගන්වනකොට එහෙම කියන්නේ නෑනේ. එහෙම කියන්නේ නැති වුණාට ඒක තමයි ඇත්ත තත්ත්වය. Why is a to the power 0 1 when a is not equal to 0? We can easily do it from this property. Suppose m and n are equal. A to the power m over a to the power m තිබ්බනම් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? A to the power m minus m. That is a to the power 0. A to the power m over a to the power m නම් කැපිලා ගිහිල්ලා 1 එනවා. ඒ බිඳුව නෙමෙයි නෝ. තේරුණේ නැද්ද? I'm trying to explain why this is true. Why is any number to the power 0 1? That is because of this property. අපි ගමුකෝ මම ඒක පෙන්නන්න. දැන් තමයි ඔයාලට මානසික ඇති. ඔව් අනේ. Next time you have to read it and come, because other I was relaxed and covered, but still I couldn't cover the full thing. Exponents properties these properties that we are going through now is valid not only for positive integers, but also negative integers, and fractions also. The square root, so the square root is the principal. Yes, but yeah. Why is a to the power 0 1 for a not equal to 0? How do we prove this? Take a to the power 5 over a to the power 5. A to the power 5 over a to the power 5 is a to the power, if a is not equal to 0, it is 5 minus 5 for a not equal to 0 neither. This side a not equal to 0, so therefore a to the 5 over a to the 5 is 1. Is equal to same number, non-zero number can be cancelled. A to the power 5 minus 5 is 0. Valid for a not equal to 0. And at the same time, I should say 0 to the power 0 is undefined. ඒක ගැන තව පොඩ්ඩක් පස්සේ දවසක් කතා කරමු. Like, this is also like 1 over 0. මේකට ඉතින් එක කියන එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වැරදි. ඒකට තියනවා දැන්. ඒක බෑ. ඒක දැන් පස්සේ බලමු. Now, these properties, those 4 properties are there. Then do you all know here? A say different bases, same power. First one, same base, different powers, exponents. Add the exponents. Different bases, same power. When you multiply, you get AB to the M. Here it's easy to see. AB to the M. A gets multiplied M times and B gets multiplied M times. A to the Mn, multiply these two. A to the M gets multiplied N times. That is A to the Mn times. A gets multiplied Mn times. Here, similar to this one, A over B to the power M is A to the power M over B to the power M. Examples are done here. Absolute value we didn't do yet, so I will not be able to do it today. Now, yes, this explanation, very elementary examples are there. Answers are given there. So go through them and yes, simplify these using those properties. So solutions are given, you try them. Exponents, rational exponents, okay, if you, straight away, absolute value comes after that. Yes, rational exponents, absolute value, I will ask Ms. Chanika to do it next time. What is the next Monday, no? Next Monday I will be able to do. Yes. Okay. Here. Fractions. What time is it? 58. I'll tell you, without it, you read it, confusing probably. How many square roots are there for 4? 4 has 2 square roots. 4 has 2 square roots. What are they? What are they? We know 2 squared is equal to 4. And minus 2 squared is also 4. So 4 is a number which we can obtain by multiplying the same number twice. 2 of them. 2 minus 2. 2 is called a square root. So what are they? Plus 2 and minus 2. Plus 2 is called, we use this sign. Square root 4 sign to mean the principal square root. This principal square root. There are 2 square roots, no, plus 2 and minus 2. This is the principal square root. Principal square root. Out of the 2, it is the positive one. When we write this is equal to plus 2. Not this. Some students have this misconception. This is plus or minus 2. This is wrong. It is only plus 2. Okay? Positive square root. When you see this. But 4 has 2 square roots. +2 and -2. But when you use this sign, symbol, it means the principal square root. It is just 2. Okay? So, time is up. Time is up. Let me just tell you one more thing very quick. Yes. No, not the absolute, before that. Rational exponents. Yes. The properties that we listed here are also valid for fractional exponents, like square roots, 2/3 powers. M and N, we listed them only for positive integer, M and N. Okay? But they are true for negative integers also. They are true for fractions also. So last thing. So let me close this. We are not going to need it. Let me close. The last thing I ask. What is 2 to the power 3/2 times 2 to the power 5/2. 2 to the power 3/2. It's like M, N. 2 to the power 3/2 plus 5/2. 3/2 plus 3, see, things are happening, no? 2 to the power. This part we just did today, no? Like denominators. So 3 plus 5, 8/2. 8/2 is equal to 2 to the power, here, 4, 1. 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So, that is 16. So but the point is this: a to the m times a to the n equals a to the m plus n can be used not only for integers but also for fractional powers as well. Okay? So absolute value for another time. I will stop share and we shall stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Yes. So it's a long day, no? Yes. So you are here for a purpose. Okay? You are here to get a good education. Cannot get it unless you put your mind to it. There are interactive sessions, there are notes uploaded, there are mentoring sessions. Nothing works if you do not take full advantage of those. Okay? So work hard from the first year itself. Okay? Regardless of what you learn it with a passion. It will help you someday. Okay? Good luck to all of you. Yes. The students who have not done combined maths or mathematics, attendance is absolutely essential. Mathematics courses are courses like this. If you miss one day, you can miss the rest of the semester. If it is a crucial concept, you will not be able to pick it up. So unless there is a reason for you to be absent, don't be absent. If you don't understand what is taught, okay, approach the lecturers, approach the interactive session instructors helping you. As I said, help is available, but you must work hard. Okay, good luck to all of you. I'll stop there. Bye.